Oh yeah. Before I let you go, what about that twist ending with the fact that Sam's daughter was there the whole time? You're thinking that this girl has like a crush on him and whatnot, and like there's gonna be some weird stuff that's gonna happen, and she's because this girl really gets him. And I gotta tell you, oh my God, when she said, "Oh my dude, what are you doing? I'm your daughter." I literally did not see that shit coming. As young as she was, I should have. I'm good at picking this stuff out. I was so involved with the story, I didn't see it coming. And when it happened, I was like, "Oh, the what?" It was amazing. Let's watch this series. You should have. Oh, I'm sorry if you hadn't watched this series yet and watched this. Shame on you. Come on. Okay, this was a spoiler heavy thing, and you should slap yourself. But it only takes a couple of hours to binge this thing. Go watch it. You're gonna love it. I didn't go over everything. I went over the good bit of it, but there's still so much I left out. You'll have a good time with this. Watch this series. Let's keep this thing going. I want Glow season. However many years that the show lasted in real life, that should be at least that many seasons. I gotta look that up because it could be two for all I know. Prepare yourself, guys. Chris with T3 Medias, and this is going to be a quick binge review of Glow on Netflix. This is the premiere season. Season 1, it just came out on Friday. I knocked it out within 24 hours as promised, and failed for the most part for all the other latest reviews. But this one I was able to knock out quickly for two reasons. One, it was only 10 episodes, and two, 30 minutes each. Perfect amount of time for a new show nowadays with everything getting so saturated. Man, it's just too much to keep up with. But let's just get into a little bit of the Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. I'm not going to get into the whole history of it. I don't know everything. I don't even remember if this is... I know this is mostly based on a true story. This is probably exactly what happened, but the comedic parts of it is just too over-exaggerated. All right, from my perspective, let me get from there. I was a young guy. I was into wrestling, and Glow was just something that was just kind of there in a way, but there was something unique about it. I was a fan. Big Bad Mama was my favorite wrestler, and she became something like almost like the Hulk Hogan of that crew in a lot of ways. The person that got me into wrestling, ironically, was my mother. She was a huge WWF, now WWE fan, and every now and then when I would, between watching my favorite WWF shows, Glow was always there. And back then, women's wrestling was considered, a joke and whatnot. They were only good for either being extremely beautiful models that just parade around and bounce around in the ring, or they would be exactly what the definition of a wrestler is, and guys would just dog them all the time and just, treat them like crap because they weren't, quote unquote, the most beautiful girls in the world. If it wasn't for Glow, I don't believe that the women's revolution that's happening in the WWE right now would even exist. Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. This series, right from the jump, was funny as hell. And I tried to write notes in a way that I could just get through this easily and fast, but I'm gonna go based on the characters. Like let's see. Let's start off with let's see if I can get this right. Okay, so Alison Brie, who played Ruth. I didn't know where her character was going to go at first. At first, it was just a typical an actress who was like a feminist. She wants equality. And then in the 80s, you had the women that was given the big shoulder pass, looking like linebackers for some reason to try to get respected. All kinds of stuff that was happening in this weird time when women's respect is being taken seriously, but yet the pushback against it was right there in the 80s. And it felt like, okay, she's going to be that typical character. And then, spoiler alert, okay, I forgot to mention, spoilers is coming. This is the binge review. Then it turns out she's the betrayer. She's the not the hero, but like almost like an anti-hero. When it turns out that she's a single woman, but she's having an affair with a married man. It's like, okay, what kind of a person are you? She's a struggling actress. Nothing's happening in her life that's working. Obviously maybe her self-esteem is shot, but she's a person that's having an affair. But then by the end of the first episode, you find out that it's her friend, her best friend that she's doing this to, and Betty Gilpin. I loved her in in the Jackie series. She was one of my favorite newcomers to that show in the later seasons. She's the person who was betrayed, not just on that level, like, but on a total friendship, because these were the chemistry between these two was great. I mean, they felt like friends. I mean, even I don't know if they were friends before the casting, but their chemistry on a friendship level was totally believable. They worked it. I don't want to sound like a dick, but she comes to the ring when there's after this huge casting call. She's finally got a break, and these women are trying to audition for Glow. And in comes a former soap opera star ready to kick some ass because the husband told her everything. And it's like, what? Guys don't do that. But okay, let's just get the story. I mean, we only got 10 episodes. Let's move it along. That was funny. So that the whole energy and the vision was finally starting to be clear. And you've met these amazing women who played these awesome characters. Okay, so let's start off with the director. You had Mark Maron, who played Sam, and he the creator. Well, he's one of the people who was hired to get the vision out to make Glow what it became. He was also a sleazy dude. Like, he's some kind of he makes these crazy films. He's a director with this history of these crazy visionary kind of a guy. He has a vision. Not that many people can get it, but he's mostly known for being an asshole. He's like a loser, but he has a winning idea, and he just needs people to get out of his way. He's like a roll or get rolled over kind of guy. You don't know how to take him until you understand him, and that's what made the character so special, because he brought it all together. He finally brought it home throughout all his faults, all the smoking, the drinking, the cursing, the diarrhea of the mouth. This guy was born with diarrhea of the mouth, yet somehow he's still able to bring it home each and every episode. That was real special with Sam. Let's see, Sindel Noel played Cherry Bang, and Cherry Bang is African American athletic person. She has experience in the game, and as far as making movies with the Sam character, she's one of I mean, basically back in the 80s and the 70s. A lot of people back then were getting blaxploitation kind of films. She's been hardened because of that experience. The only roles you're getting is a role that's gonna stereotype you. You can be an educated black woman. You can have a Harvard degree, and it does not matter. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna play the villain, the crackhead, the this and that. You're Samuel L. Jackson breaking into McDowell's. Nobody move, I'll blow your motherfucking head off. And that's the roles you were getting for a long time until you finally started. I just felt like I don't think this character's ever. I'm thinking this character's gonna never get respected. I felt like she was gonna become the downfall of the team. The good thing, I was wrong about that. It's just that she was just used over and over again and again, just exploited all the time by the Sam character, and was constantly getting overlooked for the white character who was able to put more butts in the seats. And then when back then, and even today, it is what it is. But I'll get back into it. I'll come full circle on that because the Sam character really impressed me later on. Then you had Brittany Young, and I'm not going to go through everybody, but just a few that really impressed me. Brittany Young, she played Carmen Wade. She was a heel, but she came from a family dynasty. At first she was going to be a heel, but then she became a face because the producer, I'll get to him later, turned out to not, to be full of surprises. But at first she was supposed to play a heel. Then it turns out she has the most experience out of anybody because she comes from a family of wrestlers. She had a heart of gold, loyal to a fault. She comes off as the friendly, how do they say it? The giant with a heart of gold kind of a thing. That's the character she played. Chris Lowell, though, his character as the producer, he disappointed you a lot. He's the money behind this, and this guy's a young kid. He's just throwing his money around. It turns out that he's a huge wrestling guy. He has this vision for G.L.O.W, and he wants to make it be a success, but he's really just trying to get from under his family's wing. And he just goes about everything the wrong way. He's overspending. Everything's happening too fast. It's not happening the right way. You're going too fast to a brick wall kind of a guy. The drugs, the sex, everything. And then it's like I noticed that this guy was not stereotyping, yes, but he was being a pig throughout the whole thing. But I never really saw him with women. And then you kind of towards the end, you kind of got a little, vibe. He's got a butler that he hangs out with a lot, and it's like, wait, is this a butler or a boyfriend? He puts the glitter on his eyebrows when he's getting ready for the show. It's like, okay, I never did he ever really have sex with anybody? I haven't really seen it, but also I'm thinking, the characters, he's probably gay and he's in the closet. Obviously, he comes from a very, very conservative family, and so there's going to be a lot going into that. So it's going to be very interesting seeing how that all turns. Gorgeous Ladies Wrestling overall, the show is great. I want this show to be a hit. It should be a hit. It feels like a hit. There's been some bumps in the road. Get Down got canceled. This show needs to make it. It feels like it can be low budget. You can stay under budget. You can make something magical. It's all about the connection with these girls. There was no, with all the drama, you got the drama out of the way right at the beginning, and then you saw it work itself out towards the end, and it was a struggle between the two main girls, and it finally worked out at the end. Even Alex Riley had one of the best lines in there. Hey, we're not friends. We don't need to be friends. I mean, he's the face, I'm the heel, or I'm the heel and he's the face, and whatever. But I'm the face, he's the heel, and it doesn't matter. We're not friends. But in the ring, he helps me look good by being that bad guy, by being that asshole. And he's an asshole in real life. But this is a business, and we do it what's best for even the Hardy Boys. Matt Hardy learned that the hard way when he had his beef in real life with Edge, and when Lita cheated on him with Edge, and that was a real life thing. But and the drama that they went through, I mean, it was getting to a point where it was getting unprofessional, it was getting out of control, and they were gonna get fired. But then they pulled it in. They say, look, we can use this anger that you got, this frustration, and we can put that on camera and make something of it. But while we're doing that, you don't have to like each other, but you got to get it under control. And somehow, some way, and if I remember correctly, I think there was some genuine forgiveness that was finally found through it all. But their drama, their hate, their anger at each other played out behind the scenes and in front of the camera for a very long time until it finally worked itself out to a point where they had one of the best matches in WWE, and that's what the Debbie and the Ruth character reminded me of. That final match where they brought the house down. It will draw you in. If you're not a wrestling fan, you like only looking at the girls for some reason, then it'll draw you in. You might become a wrestling fan. It's very weird how wrestling is able to octopus and get these tentacles in all these directions and latch on and somehow draw you back to the source. It's amazing how that industry is able to do it. G.L.O.W didn't last that long, but the impact was felt. And I don't think WWE would even be where it's at today if it wasn't for what they brought to the table. And I feel like one of these days, I don't know who legally owns it or whatnot, but I feel like as far as like the Hall of Fame and whatnot, I feel like the WWE should reach out and honor these women. And they need to get out there in the WWE Hall of Fame. They do it with these celebrities and whatnot. They always have one celebrity and whatnot. G.L.O.W needs to fill that celebrity slot. Even if they never did officially, intermingle or whatnot, I feel like the WWE should honor the gorgeous ladies of wrestling some way, somehow, unless there's just some super beef between Vince McMahon and the creator. Who knows? I don't know. But I feel like that's what should happen. What do you guys think? I went a little long in this, and I probably had to edit it down so hard. But I'm going to have the full version on the podcast. So check this out on the podcast and listen to each week there should be something new. And check me out on Talking to the Medias. We're going to do more trailer talk. We're going to have more, we're going to open it all up. And we're going to talk about some more personal stuff on this channel. So if you like what you heard, become a member of the podcast. Become a member right here. Subscribe right here on YouTube. Let me know what you guys think. Hit the like button. Ring my bell, and you can get an alert if you want. I mean, if you like that kind of a thing. Okay? If you like it, I love it. And until next time, guys, peace.